Insane 10 new technological features that might come standard in your future car. In a world where change is the only thing that stays the same, technology is the main thing that makes change happen, does it not? So what are the new technological features that might come standard in your future car? From saving your life to just sitting and commanding or a real-life transformer? Hey folks, welcome back to NexTech Ventures. We are back with another interesting video. Today, we are going to talk about 10 new technological features that might come standard in your future car. So without any further ado, let's get into the video right away. Automobiles have been in existence since 1885 and have undergone continuous progress. And in a field that thrives on new technologies and is always coming up with new ideas, evolution is only natural. The auto industry is one of the most powerful forces of change, but people often wonder what the next step in car technology will be. Future car technology seems to be getting better all the time, whether it's for driver comfort or safety. Here are 10 new technological features that might come standard in your future car. 10. Three-dimensional gestures. Do you remember the scene from the movie Minority Report in which Tom Cruise could command computers and devices just by waving his hands? By moving his hands, he could change the computer screen layout. People will not have to use touchscreens, buttons, and joysticks to control their car's features in the future. Instead, they'll be able to do so with simple hand movements. It's called 3D gestures, or 3D gesturing, and it will let people open and close the windows in their cars by waving their hands up and down, answer a phone call by pointing at the dashboard, and turning off the engine by waving their hand over the steering column. Auto companies are working on ways to use 3D gestures and voice commands together so that people can control their cars without taking their eyes off the road. 9. Biometric car access. If you thought your automobile's keyless entry and push-button ignition were cool, you haven't seen anything yet. To unlock your vehicles in the near future, you'll be able to use either your fingerprints or your eyeballs. All of the major automakers are currently working on developing fingerprint readers and retina scanners. These technologies will allow owners of a vehicle to be identified and will allow cars to start and open without the driver having to do anything more than place their finger on the door handle or look through a window. This sort of biometric access is based on the most recent security technologies used in cell phones. In addition, this one-of-a-kind identification and safety characteristic ought to be readily available on automobiles and other types of vehicles very soon. The future is happening now. 8. Car-to-car communication. We are already aware that in order for automated and self-driving cars to function well, they will need to be able to communicate with one another. But how far will cars be able to communicate with one another? As it turns out, quite a distance. In the near future, cars will be able to communicate with one another in order to warn each other about incidents such as collisions, roadblocks, and even hazardous weather conditions such as icy highways and snowbanks. The fact that all of this will take place even if there are people in a vehicle is really mind-boggling. Without ever bringing it up with the human occupants of the vehicle or even letting them know about it, the automobiles will be able to communicate with one another, offering vital information and assisting other vehicles in remaining safe and avoiding any hazards. This technological advancement is absolutely remarkable, and it brings us all one step closer to the age of Skynet. 7. Reconfigurable vehicles. Imagine a truck that could transform into an SUV, or vice versa. This would be a truly versatile vehicle. Does it remind you of Transformer at all? Well, engineers are currently working on this same idea with respect to SUVs and pickup vehicles of more compact sizes. The plan is to start with an SUV that has lightweight body panels and advanced motors, then retract the roof and side glass into the lower body panels of the SUV, install stow-and-go seats, and then rearrange these components so that the SUV can be transformed into a truck, or the truck can be transformed back into an SUV. People who own this type of futuristic vehicle will have the equivalent of essentially 2 cars in their possession at all times. People who adore pickup trucks and sport utility vehicles could be interested in this concept, despite the fact that it may appear to be quite extreme and impossible at first glance. Autobots, get ready to go. 6. Remote vehicle shutdown. There is currently technology available that can remotely disable a car, truck, or another sort of vehicle. OnStar and police departments across North America utilize this technology very frequently, and they are able to entirely disable a car that has been stolen with just the push of a button. Hundreds of stolen vehicles have been disabled by a variety of telematics businesses, allowing law enforcement to cease their pursuits in a timely and risk-free manner. But now, car companies are thinking about making it a standard feature in all of their makes and models to be able to turn off a car from a distance. This will offer people who own cars the ability to prevent their cars from being stolen by themselves, much to the disgust of television news programs that love to record high-speed chases on the highway from helicopters. 5. Driver health monitoring. The Ford Motor Company has been demonstrating at auto shows over the course of the past year a design for a seatbelt or steering wheel that is fitted with sensors that monitor the driver's vital data when they are behind the wheel of one of their vehicles. Not only will the technology warn the driver and passengers of the vehicle if the health of the driver becomes compromised due to a heart attack or another emergency, but the cars will also be programmed to pull over to the side of the road, shut down, and call for emergency medical assistance in the event of a potentially hazardous health situation. This is an excellent innovation that has the potential to save the lives of a vast number of people. What other ideas are in store for the future? 4. Built-in vehicle tracking. Automotive insurance firms are pushing this technology because they are fed up with consumers who say they only use their automobile for pleasure, but in fact use it to go to and from work 5 days a week. Insurers would be able to monitor a vehicle's movements and miles traveled using the new technology. Some states in the United States are debating legislation that would allow vehicle insurance companies to levy costs depending on the number of miles a person travels each year. People who agree to full tracking of their driving could get a discount on their insurance prices. An insurance firm tracking and monetizing every action a driver makes seems a bit authoritarian, yet that is generally accepted. The majority of insurers, on the other hand, are advocating heavily for the use of full-blown driver monitoring systems. Scary, but it's the truth. 3. Supercars with 4 cylinders. A good example of Ford's progress as an automaker is the new GT supercar, which is powered by a 600 horsepower 4-cylinder twin-turbo engine. In spite of some auto critics' disapproval of ultra-lightweight carbon fiber supercars with 4-cylinder engines, the reality is that a smaller and lighter supercar with 4 cylinders in the future provides exceptional performance, especially when the car's body is made of ultra-lightweight carbon fiber. It's impressive, but what about the drag racers? 2. Active window displays. It's not a new idea to show information on the windshield of a car so that the driver can see it. This technology's been around since the early 1990s. It's called HUD, which stands for heads-up display, but it hasn't been very popular because the display on the windshield was dimly lit, hard to see, and made numbers and pictures that were hard to read. Today's heads-up display technology is better than ever before. Some name the new HUD augmented reality dashboards. As the driver approaches a turn, the navigation systems will highlight it. Some engineers and scientists say that the ways to use HUD technology are endless. 1. Driver override technology. This is yet another piece of technology that could be scary. Engineers are working on technology that will make it possible for cars to take over from their drivers and drive themselves, whether we like it or not. There are cars on the market right now that will put on their own brakes if the driver doesn't. This technology is being sold as a way to keep people safe. But in the future, as self-driving technology gets better, cars will be able to ignore their driver and their commands and make their own choices. Wasn't this the plot of Stephen King's book Christine? This means that the car, not the driver, will decide what will happen. It's cool, but it's a little bit scary. Even scarier, the same technology could also let cars talk to each other on the road without the drivers knowing. This would let 2 or more cars decide what to do on roads and highways without their driver's knowledge. Crazy! So that was all about this video. I hope you like all the information given in the video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to get more videos like this. And hit the bell icon to get all of our latest notifications. Thanks for watching!